So today we're talking about VA healthcare benefits and which veterans are eligible for VA healthcare. When I started practicing in this area, I naively believed that all veterans that ever served in the military would be eligible for VA healthcare. That is not necessarily the case. You must have served 24 continuous months on active duty or completed the entire period of time that you were called up to active duty to be eligible for VA healthcare benefits, or you were discharged due to the disability that occurred or was aggravated by your service. So there is a time requirement on which veterans are eligible for VA healthcare benefits. You do have to also apply for VA healthcare benefits. They do make it quite easy for you. You can go to the VA and apply in person. You can, I believe, you can call in and request them to process the application for you that way, or you can use the VA form. It's 10-10EZ. And you can submit that by fax or electronic, and they will process your application. I think the only thing that may help process the application here would be a DD-214, which would show your service and how long you were active duty. Now, of course, the VA can request that on their own, so I would not wait to apply just because you don't have access to your DD-214. So what happens after that is then the VA is going to assign you to a priority group. So the VA has 8 different priority groups, and you'll be placed in one of those based on your military service, your service-connected disability rating through the VA, and then in certain circumstances, your income level and whether or not you are eligible for needs-based programs such as Medicaid or a non-service connected pension benefit. Once you're assigned to a priority level, you will receive the benefits at that level. Some of the differences here can be whether or not all of your medical care is free of cost, whether or not your service-connected conditions or the care for your service-connected conditions is free of cost, or whether or not you're going to be required to pay copays. So we'll start off, of course, with Priority Group 1. And Priority Group 1 consists of veterans that are service-connected by the VA at least 50% or more. Or they've been found to be totally disabled based on individual unemployability. This is the TDIU or the IU benefit that you guys hear us talk about all the time, or you've received a Medal of Honor. In the Priority Group 1, there are no copays. So you're going to receive the VA healthcare at no cost. That is the only priority group where there are no copays at all. Also, just a caveat, if you are 100% service connected by the VA, not only is all of your medical care at no cost to you, but you're also going to qualify for dental at no cost. So that's something that's always of interest to our clients. Now, down from Priority Group 1, a lot of these priority groups are going to see some type of copay, and I'm not going to try to get into any of the specifics of that. Just know that if you're not in Priority Group 1 or service connected over 50% or any of the other eligibility that we discussed, that you may have some out-of-pocket expense. Priority Group 2, that's for veterans that are service connected at 30% or 40%. Again, they're going to receive free health care for any service-connected conditions. And from what I understand, there may be copays for any medical care for conditions that are not service-connected. And from this point, moving through the priority groups, of course, the veterans are still going to receive free health care for their service-connected conditions, but there's going to be that possibility of copays. Priority Group 3, this is a service-connected rating of 10% or 20%, or you're discharged from the military due to your disability, or you were a prisoner of war or received a Purple Heart. Same thing here, free healthcare for any service-connected conditions, potentially copays for others. And then priority group 4, interestingly enough, is for veterans that are receiving aid in attendance or have been found to be catastrophically disabled. I'm not exactly sure how the VA is defining that. What I can tell you is that if you're receiving aid in attendance, you're very likely at a higher rating, service connected through the VA. So you're probably in priority group 1 based on your rating alone. So with priority group 5, you're going to see that the VA is going away from categorizing veterans based on their service connected rating, and they're going to start looking at financial needs. So this is where the income is going to come in. For priority group 5, for veterans that are not service connected, but their income is under the poverty threshold, and they may be receiving certain needs-based benefits such as Medicaid or non-service connected pension. Priority group 6, this one is based on veterans service in certain areas where there's some type of presumed exposure. So you're talking about Vietnam, the Gulf War, Camp Lejeune, and of course now burn pit exposure with the PACT Act. So this would be for veterans that are not service connected at all, but fall into having served in one of those areas. Priority group 7, this is going to be for veterans that are under a certain income, like a poverty threshold, with copays. So priority group 8 is going to be veterans with an income over the poverty threshold with an agreement for copays. And if you have any more questions, please click the link in the description, and thank you for watching.